Hi, a very warm welcome to Dusty Shelf Collectibles. So, I have finally found the tender that I've been looking for to go with my Wartime Black A4. Now, those of you who've watched some of my videos will know that I've been hunting for this in every show that I've been to, every toy fair, just trying to find one of these. I've been watching a few of them on eBay, and they've been going for, you know, I mean, they're not too bad. It's £10–15. And I'm just sort of hanging on for the right one, and I picked this one up in I think it was Maidstone, paid a £5 for it, absolutely perfect for what I want. So just to recap on the project, this body that's on here now was completely and utterly trashed. I had a Loco which had a reasonable tender and a reasonable body. I've taken those to one side, I've wrapped them up, kept those to go with this Loco wherever it goes in the future. Taken the trash body, stripped it all back, painted it, put the railings on, made new railings for it, put those on. Going to paint up this tender now. That will complete the Loco, and then somehow, from somewhere, I'm going to find the decals to go on the side of this. But it's a 3-rail Loco. It runs beautifully, and yeah, nice little project, and it's going to look good in the collection. So let's take it over to the bench and let's get this tidied up and see if we can make it look good. Right, before I get into changing the colour of the tender, just a little montage of the previous video to show what was done to the front of the Loco here. Right, let's give it just a little bit of power. Oh, just with a clean. Look at that, straight out of the box. Body on this one is actually in pretty good condition, so I have absolutely no desire at all to do anything to that other than giving it a clean over with soapy water. So I'll put that to one side. This body, however, is not in great condition. It's a bit of a wreck. And what I'm going to try and do is give this a repaint and see what it comes out like. There you go. Hour and a bit just scrubbing and cleaning, and yeah, more and more paint stripper on there, and yeah, it's looking pretty good, So I'm going to go and give that a dusting over, and let's see what it looks like. There you go, magic of editing. Right, I've got one rail on. I've actually did this off camera because I wasn't totally convinced it was going to work, but it has, and it's looks good and very successful. So let me show you how I did it. So taking a small piece of wire like so, and the rail itself, I'm looping the wire around the rail, like that, and just pinch it together, and then using a pair of pliers I'm just nipping the two quite close together, forming a loop. Right, so all I do now is slide these in through the holes, while I thread this through. So literally picking up each of the loops down the side of the engine. Some easier than others. Inside, I'm just going to bend the wire back on itself, like so. I'll sort that out showing through the cab window in a minute. Right, so they're all bent back, and that's looking really good. Really good. Okay, right, let's have a look at this tender. So we've got, there are some bend marks on the side here, but I'm not going to do anything with those, I don't think. I might try and just gently bend them out. But let's see if we can get it apart anyway. So get the wheel trucks off. That's one. Nice to see it's still got the Hornby sticker, or Meccano sticker on the base here. Might try and retain that if I can. That'd be nice. Right, so there are little bent tabs here, so let's just pull those over. It looks like somebody's tried with these rear ones anyway. But let's see if I can slide this out. That's one. That's two. Okay, that's fallen out of there. That's a locking nut. That's the nut that goes underneath here to lock the wheel trucks in. Should be on this side as well. That's it. Right, so this part here, I'm actually just going to dust this over in a gloss, just so that it kind of matches in with the rest of the Loco and doesn't get lost in the matte black. So that's off of there. So again, tabs to lift. I just want to point out, if you've watched my recent 00 video of the Nigel Gresley, the recent release of Nigel Gresley, obviously Hornby used the word traditional plastic tender. Well, this is obviously a plastic insert with metal sides, so yeah, a little bit ambiguous there. Right, come on. This feels like it wants to lift, but there it goes. And this side. Yep, not too bad. Oh, it's on these tabs as well. Okay. This is good because this base plate's coming out with the Meccano transfer, so I will be able to retain that. I don't plan on painting that base plate, and you can see the paint down the side here. So as I said, somebody's had this apart in the past and given this a repaint, so I don't feel so bad in changing the colour of it now. I still have the original tender and body from this Loco. I've put those to one side, wrapped them up in tissue paper, so that should I ever want to put it back away from this wartime black, I can do. Right, how do we get this plastic out? I think, yeah, it looks as though it's been, what do you call it, heat staked on there. So I think I'm going to have to drill those out, unfortunately, and then just glue the plastic bit back on at a later date. Yeah, let's do that. Off these mushrooms. That's one. Feels like two. Yeah. See if it'll lift. Not quite yet. That should do it. There you go. Right. And then at the front here, that is another piece of metal, so I'm going to leave that in there. Right, so that's the bit I want to change the colour on. So let's get some paint stripper and yeah, clean this off. Move that out of the way before I bring any paint stripper into shop. Right, I'll just put these at the back of the bench. Right, let's get this worked in down the sides so we can get all this old paint off. The tender was originally blue. Right, let me put some of this on and then I'm going to leave it for 10 minutes and go and grab a coffee. Right, let's come back to that. We've got about 5 or 10 minutes there, so let's give this another quick go over with the wire wool. There's a little lip underneath the top, just here. The paint's all caught in that. I'm going to go and rinse these and see what I've got. I've changed my board over so that I can spray these parts. These have come out quite nicely. You can see here, we just bent back the tin just a little bit and planished over to try and take out the little creases that were in the tender there, so they're not looking too bad at all now. This one's still a little bit prevalent, but you really won't be able to see it, I'm sure. This is all stripped back, looking good. Now this end, when I started stripping the paint back, the paint wasn't coming off very easily, but came off the top of the features, and I actually think that looks pretty good. So I'm not going to do any more to that. I'm just going to drop that straight back into the model as it goes back together. So that piece is done. So I just need to dust over these two. So let me grab some spray. Onto the axle boxes, so I'm just going to give this a dust over. I'll give this a coat with undercoat to start with, and then with a satin black just to finish it off. So where's my undercoat gone? There it is. This is grey primer. Actually, I'm just going to push that to one side so I can get to the side of it nicely. Let's turn that around, do the other side. Right, come back to that in a minute. Right, let's have a look what we have. So this needs to drop back in at this end. I'm just making sure I get this around the right way. That way, that goes in at the top. Right. That does actually look quite good. I'm pleased with that. With the, you know, as I say, when I was rubbing back the using the nitramors on there, it took the top layer of paint off, but only on the features. So that's actually quite effective. Quite lucky with that finish. Right, let's bend these tabs over. In. That looks pretty good. And then the coach door. Now the paint's not really got right into the corner, so I might touch that in a bit, but I'm just going to add that in for now. Let's make sure I get this around the right way. Right.
nice. Just picked out the window there, just with the wet and dry. I'll try and do the same with these handrails if I can. Not so good. There's one on that side, let's try this one. That was a bit better. Okay, that's come out rather well. Let's just now I've had a look online, and there's pictures of the Nigel Gresley coming out of its latest refurbishment, and the buffer beam is painted red on the rear of the vehicle, not on the front. So I am going to repaint this in red. I don't know whether this paint's any good though. Give that another coat in a minute. Right, I'm just going to glue this back on. Obviously it was riveted before, or heat stake should I say, but I did remove the heat stake, so just a little bit of glue on here just to hold this on. That'll do. Right, let's leave that to set. I'm going to go and have a coffee. I'm going to give the buffer beam another quick coat. Let's have a look. Okay, that'll do. Right, I've ordered some decals from Fox Specialist Transfers. So I'm going to put the LNER on the side of the tender. These are not underlined on the one in black, so I'm led to believe. Go with the L. Right, the front of the Loco. So we need 4498. So let's get a couple of fours. The number on the front. Okay, I bought some name tags. I'm going with Nigel Gresley, as you probably guessed by the number. So let's slide these out. These are proper, what are they? Are they Dublo? King's Cross scale product. I bought them, got them off of eBay. Obviously they're not, they're old stock. Let me slide these out. Okay. I'm probably going to have to cut these somehow. So we can glue this nameplate in place. This is going to be very awkward, I think. I'll just grab that by the end. Put a tiny bit of glue on the back. That's pretty good. Okay, let's give the other side a go. Right, that's the name on the other side. Right, feeling like I'm on the home straight now, so let's slide this back into here around the right way. Goes on there like that. That buffer beam still doesn't look too good. touch that in later. We'll see how we go. I've been very, very careful of these transfers. I'll do this in 2 bits actually. Let's slide the base on first, around the wrong way. I got it. It just needed a little bit of persuasion. It's around the wrong way though. I know that for sure. The slots are slightly longer on this end. All these tabs over to hold it together. Right, and these locking nuts slide in underneath. Actually, I'm going to do these as I go. So. Right, that's the tender back together. So I'm going to let all of this dry, give it a chance for all the paint to go hard and the transfers to set, and then I'll finish up this video with a bit of running and some close-up shots. I mean, it's not perfect, but I'm quite pleased with it. It's not too bad. It's not too bad at all.
I'm just doing a couple of panning shots across the Loco here. As you see, it's not perfect, but I'm actually quite pleased with it. I mean, you've got to keep in mind that this model itself, probably the best part of 70 years old, and obviously with the die-cast body, you don't have the detailing on that you would with the modern Locos, but I'm so pleased with the way this has come out. I've thoroughly enjoyed doing the project, and yeah, it looks great on the layout. And here's just a couple of shots side by side with the original body and tender. These are the ones I felt were too good to sort of scrap or repaint. And if you've seen the original video, you'll know how bad the mod body that is now on the Loco was. It was completely battered.
what a fun little project. I've really enjoyed doing this one. It's nice to create something a little bit unusual. Obviously, you know, the Wartime Black, there's been some recent releases from Hornby, but I don't believe these sort of vintage 00 3-rail were ever released like this. Not to my knowledge anyway. If anybody knows any different, please let me know. And then to rescue a scrap body, I mean, if you saw the pictures of the body beforehand, it was absolutely trashed. And the tender, I paid £5 for it, but with a bit of paint on there and some new transfers, it looks really, really good. Obviously the transfers were a little bit of money, but other than that, I've taken what is a sort of semi-running Loco. I've kept the nice body, I've kept the nice tender, so they can go with the train, you know, if I ever come to sell it, or, you know, when it gets passed on, they can go with the Loco. And now I've got this nice new body on there in Wartime Black, and yeah, really, really pleased with it. I love the way it's come out. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up, and if you can subscribe, have a look at the other videos on the channel. There's lots of things on there, all things that interest me, and lots of different videos on different subjects. And if you can subscribe, as I say, I'd be really, really grateful, because you know, it does help the channel out, and it will also give me some encouragement to get. Got lots of videos coming up. Hopefully I'm going to get out and about to the train exhibitions over the next few weeks. Been struggling with a very sore ankle, which has stopped me driving to some of them. So I've missed a few fairs at the beginning of the year, but hopefully now I can get out and start recording. Anyway, with that said, we'll leave this one there. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.